I think about the holidays. I mean, it is where it begins for me, and it's the last thing that I want to take down. It's what ends it for me as well. It is so important to have one that you're proud of, to have one that is memorable, to have one that wows your guests, as we are going to have such an amazing holiday, maybe the most special Christmas of our lifetimes this year. But really not only wows those loved ones, wows you. When I go home after a long day, or even just when I wake up in the morning for my weekend, when I have a Christmas tree up in my living room and I have that on and I'm watching TV, like this is happiness to me. Someone on the chat said they called it calm. And so I'm so proud of the quality of Christmas trees, of faux Christmas trees. And I don't even want to use the word faux, because look at how grand and glorious they are. This is hands down, and I've heard so many callers call us if you love the one from last year on Christmas in July. We won't be doing it again for the rest of the year. Like, this is that today's special value from Home Reflections that you wait for in Christmas in July. Call us if you love it. Call us if you got it last year. This is the best, and I've heard people say it, best place to get a Christmas tree is from QVC. And I like a really nice faux because I don't want to wait. Like, I don't want to wait a week or 2 weeks before Christmas. I want to put it out the day after Halloween, and I want to keep it out as long as I can. And I know so many who keep it out year round, and do what makes you happy, but get the best. Now, from the greenery, which is more realistic, better, more than ever before, to these incredible fairy lights, which are also more realistic, brighter. There's more of them. I think it's like up to 3,500, for goodness sake, or 4,000 lights. To me, it's like an experience. You get lost in the lights and you have total customization. And I left my remote if someone could bring it to me. You will get a foot pedal, but you also get a remote with 16 different options. Not only just do you want multicolor, or do you want the warm LED white lights, but all of the different ways that you can twinkle, you can customize as well, and change it by the day, change it by the hour. You can also set it on a timer. Aren't these beautiful? And save yourself the money. In this case, up to almost $400 off what you should have to pay as our today's special value. As we are in our final presentation, the problem is we're selling out. We've had over 16,000 orders placed today. I'm going to walk you through sizes and choices, and I'm going to actually walk across the set. Because I've been staring over here where my little throne is. It is okay if I go to the Courtney Claus throne? And then we can show that little winter wonderland and go through all of them. But the flock trees that are behind me, I've been over here on this side for the entire show, and I've just been staring at them. They are so beautiful. They even made the flocking this year that sold out at 10 a.m. last year even better. It almost looks like a freshly fallen snow has draped. Look at all of these tips. I think there's 4,000 up to 4,000 depending on what you're getting. You can't see through this. There's not an ornament on this tree, and yet it is so stunningly beautiful. That is the hallmark and how you know it's the real thing. Let's talk about what's left, and we can show our winter wonderland. We can start with the flocked first. And I see one is missing from the last presentation. We still have the smallest being the 5 foot, but we only have 950 to go around, which will be $65 and change a month on Easy Pay. How incredible. And the 6.5, we have 750. In the 7.5, 1,000 remain in the flocked. If you want my oh no, it's gone. The 9 foot is sold out in the flocked, but we still have it in the green, and it is my favorite. And if you can do a 9 foot tree, and this assembly on this one is so easy, go for the 9 foot. Now we're showing you now the green. In the 5 foot green, we're down to the final 800. If you want the 6.5 is sold out. If you want the 7.5, we have fewer than 200. And then in the 9 foot, we are down to the final, is it 500? 500. So these are final quantities, and this is the final presentation. You're reserving it. It will ship out to you the week of September 13th. As you look at the value, this is what people wait for. And I have a Christmas tree in my living room. I have a Christmas tree in my dining room. I have a Christmas tree in my front room. As you look at the value, you can put them in everyone, put them in bedrooms, especially when you have like the 5 foot, the savings. Okay, so on the 5 foot, for example, it should be $70 more than what you're paying. Look at how great your Easy Pay is, $65.80. As we go on up, that's where we start to really get the big time savings. For example, that amazing 7.5 foot, we're talking about $260 in savings. When you go to the 9 foot option, you're saving almost $400. $400. You're looking at a $1,200+ Christmas tree that we're not even at $1,000, $859. Use your Q card and you can put it on 9 month special financing, but invest in the best. And I've heard so many people talk about how they've had their home reflection Christmas trees forever, how they trust QVC as a source for Christmas tree shopping, and they will last. So invest in the best, put it on a QVC credit card, and you can put on even more of a budget if you choose to. But I know that out of all the years that they brought it, they just continue to get better and better, and this is the best. There's a 2-year warranty on the lights. There's 5 years of a warranty on the greenery, just to give you a heads up on that as well. And you will get that remote with all the 16 functions, and you can go from the warm white, these are LED, they're cool to the touch, the color, and then all of those in between, like different ways you can display the lights, from twinkle to fade to things I've never seen before to dimming. And Amy Scaglione is here, and it's so great, Amy, and watching you tonight as you were presenting, even from my dressing room, looking at you, and I think you're next to the flocked, is it the 9 foot that you're standing next to?
Yep, this is the 9 foot flock.
That reminds me of the high-end front gate catalogs that get sent to my house that have the grand flocked trees that don't even need ornaments. I mean, you're welcome to put your ornaments on them, but when you have a tree of this quality, the beauty is, Amy, you don't really need to put a thing on them because they're gorgeous as is.
And Courtney, it's so true. And we had actually chatted about that. I said, you know, really, when we open up and we have this chat at the beginning of the show, it's important to me to say, you're not a designer. Maybe you're getting your first Christmas tree for the first time, to be able to say, this is a considered purchase. I want to love this tree. I want to know that it's going to be full and lush all on its own before I ever put an ornament on it. And you can see that's exactly what this tree delivers. This tree was a full year in the making, Courtney. We wanted to be able to deliver a tree because we know it's the star of the show. We know it's what you build the rest of your decorating around. We wanted it to be a full tree, a lush tree, but a mid-profile so that it wasn't taking up a huge imprint and it was going to fit in most any home or any setting. We wanted it to have this year these beautiful, slightly upswept branches so that not only would it draw your eye up just really to the majesty of the whole tree, but also that it would really hold those precious ornaments perfectly. And Courtney, we really wanted to go crazy with the fairy lights, to embellish every part of the tree. These are hand strung, and they start on the inside of the tree, closest to what would be considered like the trunk on the tree, and then they're strung all the way out to the tips. So from the top of the tree to the bottom of the tree, from the inside of the tree out, you're going to see those fairy lights. And even when we look at that warm white, years ago, that incandescent white, we loved that warm glow, but they got hot to the touch and they were a little bit yellow. These are a soft, gorgeous, warm white. And then you're going to have 15 other options to choose from. So just sort of delivering everything you could possibly want in a tree.
It's an experience, these fairy lights. You know, they're not even lights anymore. It's a whole experience. It's like looking out in my backyard in the middle of the night, and the fireflies there's so many of them that it just takes you to this magical place. Like it's beyond Christmas tree lights. So I'm glad they are called fairy lights because they are magical. The problem is, Amy, we're busy and we're running out of trees. So before we do, I would love for you to walk me through assembly, because this is the other reason why you want to invest in a tree like this. Because if you don't, if you've ever experienced a tree that's a pain, you know, to put up, you don't want to put it up. You at Home Reflections have made it so simple.
Yeah, that's so important. If you've had, let's say you've had a real tree, we know the end of that, there's needles everywhere. You have that cleanup. Or if you've had what we call an artificial or faux tree in the past. My parents, you'd have to put A into B, C into D. And it was an exercise really in frustration. These are so easy, Courtney. When you get the box home and open it up, you're going to have the number of sections appropriate to the size tree that you've purchased. You're going to have your foot pedal, your remote, and your stand. And of course, all of the lights are pre-strung. So you have to do next to nothing. And I'm going to show you what that's going to look like when we add that first section in. All of the power is housed in the pole in these. And what that means is you're not going to have wires all over the place. You're not going to have wires that you have to disguise. It's going to be one plug. So what you're going to want to do is line up that first section, and you're going to drop it right into the stand. When you drop that first section in, watch as I stand back after I drop it in. You notice that all of those branches kind of fall into place. That's that memory steel. And that means not only do they fall into place when you're putting the tree together, but when you put the tree away at the end of the season and take it out next year, they're going to fall back into place and remember where they fall. This is that second section. And what we're going to do is line that section up with the first section. And I'm going to drop that in. And I'm going to show you this in two parts. First, I'm going to drop this in, and I'm going to show you how to plug it in. And then I'm going to sort of disassemble it and show you what that lighting up looks like. So you drop in that second section, Courtney. That's as easy and as simple as it is to put it together. There's one cord. You plug that in, and you can see the beauty of the tree lighting up.
Yeah.
Let me show you if you were taking it apart or you were adding that first section, what it would look like. Here's that top section. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a twist by hanging onto the pole and lifting it out. That's your first section. That's plugged in. And again, that second section, as easy as lining it up, dropping it in, giving it a little twist, and you'll know you're ready to go because that second section will light right up for you.
And you know it is really easy, Amy, or else we would have been watching you on a tape that was recorded of you doing that at home, because doing stuff on live TV is so much harder than actually doing it just in your own home. So the fact that she was able to just simply, that quickly put that together. And then I think about, as you look at this beautiful tree in our little bedroom set, where you can replace your tree. Maybe you want to put your best tree in your living room, for example, and then maybe you want to then upgrade that room and take that old tree and put it in your dining room. Trees in the bedroom. Do you have college students or someone with an apartment that you want to build to, ship to, send them a 5-foot tree? The more trees, to me, the merrier. And with this, you don't have to know or commit to multi-light or white light. You don't have to commit to steady or twinkle or flip. You can literally change it by the second, however you want to do it, because on your remote, it's a matter of pushing a button. This is customization to the highest quality. Every time Home Reflections brings us a Today's Special Value, they just make it better and better. And this is the best. I want to go through sizes again, though, as this is the final presentation. And frankly, we just don't have a lot left. This is your final chance to shop this as a Today's Special Value and get the almost $400 savings on what you should have to spend. Am I going to take everyone through the tree choices, or is Sean going to do it? I think I saw Sean. Sean is lounging. Okay, cool.
No, I'm just sitting here with the remote control.
Oh, you're just changing the lights for me?
I'm just lounging on my chaise. And I'm here, watch. This is exactly what your life will be like when you get this tree home.
I love it.
Am I feeling white, or am I feeling multi, or white, or multi, or white? Okay, do you want me to help, or do you want to do it?
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Okay, well.
You're walking now. You got
right, you made me get up, so I'm going to have to bring some value to this presentation. All right, so Court, we're going to start with flocked, because flocked last year was the very first thing to sell out, so we knew this year we had to bring in more of it. But if you want the 5-foot flocked, we only have 900 to go around. It's not the kind of flocking that's going to flake off. By the way, it's done so realistically, and then with the fairy lights, it almost looks, in some of the modes like twinkle and fade, like ice is dripping or snowflakes are falling on the tree, like really cool. Now that was the 5, 6.5 over here flocked. We only have 700 to go around. That's it. Ships immediately directly to your door as soon as we get into, what's the ship date, Court? I forget.
No, the 13th of September.
September 13th. Great. This is the biggest, the 9-footer. Is this 7.5? Oh, this is the 7.5. My apologies. Would have been smoother, Courtney, if you did this. We only have about 900 to go around in 7.5. There is no 9-foot flocked. It is entirely sold out. These ship in sections. So whether you're a 5-foot and that's going to be 2 pieces, or you're a 7.5 foot and that's going to be 3 pieces, or the 9-foot, which is